Welcome back. This is my mini-series breaking down each type of training we did at the Shaolin Temple. In this episode, we're going to be covering, of course, Wing Chun, which if you're an old subscriber, you know I do have some experience in myself. Now guys, keep in mind, this is a companion video to my full documentary, The 14 Extreme Trainings of Shaolin Warrior Monks, My Life at the Temple, which can be found on my channel here. So make sure to check that out. I made this video because this is one of the most common questions I've been getting in the comments of the documentary. We want to see more Wing Chun. We want to know more about Wing Chun. So in this video, we're going to break down each Wing Chun form, Wing Chun techniques, Wing Chun applications, Wing Chun concepts, the weapons of the Wing Chun system, and we're going to showcase those and explain to you what they are in this video. And just like my full documentary, I want to make this an enjoyable viewing experience for you, so I've separated this video and organized it by time code, so feel free to skip around to any section in any order that you like. So if you've been enjoying my Shaolin content and you want to see more, and you're excited for that fight scene with the Masters, which is coming next, please make sure to subscribe. We hit 150,000 subscribers, which I'm so grateful for, so let's make it 200K. So make sure to like this video and share it with a friend who might want to learn about Shaolin. And my second channel here on YouTube, where I analyze the cinematic language of games. And let me know your favorite Wing Chun technique that you've seen. If you haven't heard the name Wing Chun, you've certainly seen it. Wing Chun, of course, famously practiced by the legendary Bruce Lee and his master Yip Man. Wing Chun is a close quarters combat-centric toolbox meant to just dismember your opponent by utilizing devastating counterattacks, leading to a rapid succession of strikes known famously as the chain punch, elbow strikes, low line kicks, finger jabs, and just all manner of destruction to the vital areas of the enemy. It is a ruthless and merciless system, and is really good for those real-world scenarios that are just messy. There are 6 individual forms practiced in Wing Chun. 3 open hand forms, the wooden dummy, and 2 weapons. The first is called Su Lim Tao, which translates to the little idea, and this is essentially your Wing Chun alphabet. It breaks down each movement of Wing Chun that you'll be using and combining while applying these techniques in combat. These moves like Tan Sao, Bong Sao, Fuk Sao, all individual tools that will be used, training your body so these movements are second nature, so they're built into your muscle memory, creating detrimental effects for the opponent. The second Wing Chun open hand form is called Chum Kyu, which translates to seeking the bridge. This is the form where you start to combine the alphabet from Su Lim Tao into words and sentences, pivoting, combining techniques, trapping concepts, several different kicks, and really starts to open up your Wing Chun arsenal of usable techniques. Chum Kyu is also really great for fighting multiple opponents, as you'll notice they're shifting back and forth, which is for changing targets and dealing with different attackers. And when we talk about the bridge in Wing Chun, we're referring to the connection. Like many martial arts, if you have that connection, you're able to utilize, manipulate, and control your enemy. Similar to Chin Na, which we talk about in the full documentary. The third Wing Chun open hand form is called Bu Ji, or the darting fingers. Many refer to this form as a secret form, a forbidden form of Wing Chun. And why they do it is this form is very dangerous. It's full of elbows and finger jabs, just brutal techniques, all meant for the vital areas. One of the other reasons for this form is made for correcting yourself back to those Su Lim Tao concepts, the alphabet of Wing Chun, if you do lose your centerline. So a lot of teachers in Wing Chun, a lot of masters in Wing Chun are very reluctant to teach these techniques, sort of like we talked about in Chin Na. Next, of course, we have the famous Wing Chun wooden dummy, or the Mukjang, the wooden man. As my master described it, it's essentially much in the same way that a boxer would use a punching bag, right? It's not an actual opponent, but it's giving you that little bit of resistance. It's giving you an idea of how you're going to make contact with a real-world, tangible object. One of the main reasons for the wooden dummy is also correcting your angles. The mathematics of Wing Chun is so important. And the wooden dummy forces you to correct every angle to be perfect, or you will not be able to do the technique with any sort of power or strength or effectiveness. And good Wing Chun master will correct you and teach you how to do this like my Sifu Rusty Chan taught me, which will increase all the aptitude of your techniques and increase your understanding of Wing Chun. It's such a cerebral, technical system. Probably the most technical system out of all the martial arts I trained at the Shaolin Temple and beyond. The iconic Wing Chun wooden dummy, as we know from Yip Man, from Bruce Lee, from Jackie Chan. It's even an Iron Man. I'm grateful to have one of my own, and it is just such a joy to practice on. You can really feel, if you kind of center yourself in that meditation, in that spirit, that would be Dongchan, action meditation. Finally, we have the Wing Chun weapons. Hey guys, perfect time to talk to you about today's sponsor, The Ridge. They sent me these 3 incredible products, including the Ridge wallet. It's absolutely fantastic design. It's small, it's sleek, it's modern. My wallet was 4 times the size of this. I'm so glad to throw that thing in the garbage now. It's super durable material. You can smack somebody in the face with this thing. It's gonna hurt them and it's not gonna hurt the wallet. The other product they sent me is this lovely backpack. I'm going to be traveling to Iceland in a few hours, and this is coming with me. It's perfect for all my camera equipment. It's got a million of these little pouches and nice things. It's got a plug, really important for editing videos on the go, since we're going to be shooting over there in Iceland. Also, this knife is fantastic. It's really quality. It's incredibly sharp. Really good to just have on you to be able to open stuff. So use my unique product link, ridge.com/Phil, or my coupon code Phil to get that 10% discount. All right, thanks again to Ridge for sponsoring this video. I'm going to Iceland. The 6.5 point pole and the Bat Jam Dao, 8 cutting knives. Though these weapons have incredible use if you were to be wielding them in battle, as hundreds of years ago, I'm sure Wing Chun practitioners would have been. One of the true uses, and I would say arguably maybe the more useful revelation of the weapons, is actually what it does to your unarmed Wing Chun. Much like the wooden dummy, it corrects and increases your understanding of these core concepts and how to utilize them in battle. Chun is based around just really cutting and slicing into your opponent's body. And like the Bat Jam Dao, be hooking into your opponent's flesh, pulling them into you and slicing all their vital areas. It's terrifying. Don't want to get too much into detail in this video, as it can be very upsetting. I would say the main thing to focus on is, number 1, absolute safety. This is stuff you should just really never be using unless it's an absolute apocalyptic scenario. There's just no place for it. And incredibly violent and dangerous techniques. So if you are practicing them, please do them carefully. Make sure you're taught by a master and a Sifu who knows what they're doing, and just use it with good intention in your practice. But it can be argued that all of Wing Chun is based on cutting and slicing in this knife-like mindset. And when you apply that to your Wing Chun, that's when I personally started to elevate my Wing Chun. One of the most important Wing Chun concepts is the centerline. The centerline is essentially your opponent's spine and the balance point of their body. And so much of Wing Chun revolves around taking control of your opponent's centerline and manipulating it to your will. It's a battle for control of the centerline. And this really applies to every martial art. It's just a course concept over which almost all of Wing Chun is built. And you'll see all the techniques that Wu Shifu demonstrates on me. He will take a dominant point of my centerline so I become off balance, or I have no power in my attacks, and then utilizes that control to his advantage. It's a very interesting concept. Another technique in Wing Chun, of course, is the famous chain punch, which I'd be remiss not to mention. It took me a lot of training to get to a higher level of the chain punch, but it eventually clicks when you realize that it's all about relaxation and pulling the trigger at the right second. You would never really use the chain punch like this in a fight unless your opponent was completely dazed and incapacitated. It's essentially the equivalent of the hammer fist. Your opponent's dazed, they're on the ground, you just unload on them. It really is the same exact idea as the hammer fist. However, you will see inexperienced, beginner, or otherwise brainwashed Wing Chun practitioners using this completely incorrectly, like right out of the gate in a fight. I mean, obviously you'll surprise somebody, sometimes like that, but it is just not, it is not a good way to fight. As far as the techniques of Wing Chun, they're often combining all of those elements we talked about. The alphabet of Wing Chun, all the different techniques. If you're really good at Wing Chun, it'll just flow from you naturally. Fire off these techniques at will. But I would say the greatest strength of Wing Chun after using it in sparring is the counterattack capability. It is such a good system for counterattack. Another big part of Wing Chun training is called Chi Sao. Now, I want to say, I think most, if not all, Wing Chun practitioners rely way too much on Chi Sao. It's a necessary part of training. However, it is not fighting. So what you want to do is find a healthy balance of light sparring to test your abilities, and of course Chi Sao to develop those reactions. Essentially a way to train taking over dominance of the center line and then executing techniques. Increasing the sensitivity so you know when to execute those techniques and when to fire off and when to vie for dominance of the center line if you have an opening, or when to initiate defense if your center line is compromised. That's really all it is, but most people take it way too far, and it's literally all they do. Because my experience with Wing Chun has been so toxic, besides my teacher, who's great, just this group of disgusting cowards, and like a contest of who can be the most insecure, whining about their lineages, and it's all political, and it's absolutely shameful. You are an embarrassment, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You know who you are. When I got to the Shaolin Temple, because I was conditioned for that, my lineage was different than Wu Shifu, who was teaching the Wing Chun course. I figured I'd be met with criticism, but no. Wu Shifu actually ended up using me in demonstrations to show the students how it should be done, because he recognized that I understood the concepts and was doing it. And it's just mind-blowing, the level of integrity. All I can say is the rest of the Wing Chun world, the rest of the martial arts world, take note and really reflect on your ways, because you are an embarrassment. This is why I remove myself from all these bickering, childish cowards. As we know the channel slogan, cowards die first.
Punch it.
So that is my mini documentary on Wing Chun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, please put them in the comments. Have you practiced Wing Chun? Do you agree? So guys, make sure to subscribe because that fight scene video is coming, as well as more content from China. Make sure to check out my other catalog of videos from that same trip, the tournament. Me and Spencer exploring China, as well as other videos. I'm also going to be doing a 100,000 subscriber plaque unboxing soon. So like I said earlier, I have a second YouTube channel for gaming where we love to dive into the cinematic language of games like Final Fantasy, to analyze game cinematics and also just talk, much like we do here. So please make sure to subscribe to my gaming channel. And of course, if you want to chat live, come over to Twitch. I also have a Discord for the community. And if you want to see what happens in my daily life, a lot of bite-sized fight scenes, as well as how I train, how I eat, stuff like that, follow me on Instagram. But that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to move on to those fight scenes. Anyways, I'll see you around town. Cowards die first.